You know what it is. Still shiny on Cincinnati here. Watching the Packers up 10-0 second quarter on Thanksgiving. Got my Jordan Love jersey on. Diet Dr. Pepper going. It's good. Packers win. Big win against division rivals. Love threw for like 4 touchdowns or something. And had himself a game. And some other people came up big. Romeo Dobbs had a few key receptions. Dontavian Wicks in the last play there, securing that first down and the dub. Awesome. Excited. They are now 8-3-1, I think. So that, I think that's tied with the Bears right now. But the Bears are fraudulent. They've won against some really shitty teams. So yeah, happy. All right, guys, made it to the end of Thanksgiving and November 27th, of course. I don't think Thanksgiving is always on November 27th, but all I know is that it's always the 4th Thursday of the month. So anyway, November 27th, 2025, end of Thanksgiving. It's about 10 o'clock here, and usually with Thanksgiving, we haven't really done anything in the past. I mean, we have, but recently it's just been our family. But this year we hosted and had some family friends over, and with that you know some people, and they're childhood friends per se, but you're not. At least for me, I'm not that close with them, and it's just we're there together. So nothing really spectacular out of it. I guess just seeing each other again, and that's about it. But it was not a bad time. And I think I had a talk with one of the family friends he's a doctor, and he was part of the admissions committee at some school, I forgot what it was, and we were talking about what my experiences is, and whether working as a medical assistant is actually useful at all. And he was basically saying that no, it's not useful. They want to see that you have research, and we talked about some ways that you can do that I can kind of pursue that. And I think the one thing that I'm looking towards is pursuing a master's degree. Now the thing is, because it's already November, end of November, and I was just a quick sort of ChatGPT or Google search can tell you that a lot of these masters for the spring are basically closed, or the deadline has already passed, or it's December 1st or something. So yeah, I mean, I realized that I needed to do something different, but I wanted to kind of stay put at where I was and not have to worry about going outside my comfort zone. And even though I've sort of gone outside my comfort zone already in many other respects, I think that this would be a pretty big leap of faith, to say the least, because just having some sort of income, even though it's not particularly stable or good, is something, and that's worth something to me. I hate to be dead weight, just not doing anything, basically just consuming during my gap years. I would like to kind of earn my way throughout these gap years. Now, the thing is, of course, I've also been struggling with the idea that just having clinical hours and working as a medical assistant is not strong enough, and it's not relevant enough, or it's not sort of telling of someone who wants to be a doctor, right? If you wanted to be a nurse, if you wanted to go to PA school, these things are important. Clinical hours are important for those, but I want to go to medical school, and what the doctor was telling me is that it's good to have clinical hours, but at the same time, they want to see that you are academically motivated. That's the biggest thing that separates a doctor from like a nurse, right? Is that you are sort of more academically inclined, as evident through your GPA, MCAT, through research, right? These are kind of like the big three things, and then everything else is kind of what they include in a holistic application. And so, yeah, I mean, it's going to be difficult. I'm going to have to look into it, and who knows when I'll be able to start a program. It's going to take some time, but that conversation definitely gave me sort of like a new mindset, sort of a wake-up call to realize that I can't just stay put in this job that I'm doing right now. And it's kind of strange. It feels weird because I just started this job, and I'm probably gonna have to quit, if I'm able to get into a master's program, maybe like half a year from now, maybe even less. So that's the plan for now. I mean, I'll apply to some of the medical schools, some of the master programs like around here, and utilize my connections to the best of my abilities to work in these labs and get that research experience, and just be involved with the medical school and the medical program through that master's education. I think that's something that I felt sort of lacking in, because when you're out of school, graduated, and you're just working, it's difficult to get back involved in these like student activities. But I could easily just send a ton of emails to a bunch of professors who are conducting research and see if I can be part of a lab. And sure, I can also utilize some connections to maybe get recommended for those, but to actually be a student who's working towards a degree for a master's is a more secure, more safer option. Now, there's also a part of me that is telling me that yes, of course, this is what they want you to think, right? Because they want your tuition money, they want this, whatever. But at the same time, of course, any degree is going to cost money. I think that how you utilize it and whether you deem it valuable or in your future success is also important. So that's sort of where my mindset is right now, and it's I feel like this is kind of like a turning point for my journey. Besides that though, kind of to move on, this camera is kind of sinking. The tripod is like slowly sinking. I didn't really watch much football besides the Packers-Lions game, which the Packers did win, as I said before. So there were some calls in there. I was thinking back on it. There were some calls on there. Obviously, I think the biggest call was when they called the timeout before they called the timeout before the false start, and I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there, of course. Maybe he was calling timeout, but on the replay, it looked like he called it after. I just, you take what you can get, and as a Packers fan, that's about as good as a call as you're gonna get. And I forgot to even mention, like, Micah Parsons. He went pretty crazy in the game as well. I think I saw him record maybe like 2 sacks or 3 sacks. So impressive stuff. Yeah. I'm just tired. I'm gonna have to go back to work tomorrow, but it's not gonna be too busy. Not gonna have too many people there. So that's gonna be it for today. A lot to think about for sure. And you know, I know it's a little bit early because we're not at the end of the month yet, but this whole video, sort of every day, has given me an opportunity to sort of empty my thoughts that I'm having throughout the day. And I do journal occasionally. I haven't recently. I mean, I've been pretty bad about keeping up with that, but I think this is also a sort of form of journaling, of recording my thoughts and my daily activities and what I'm going through and all that stuff. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. It'll be Friday, and we're expecting snow this weekend, so we'll get some video of that. It said it's gonna snow possibly tomorrow, but definitely Saturday and Sunday it looks like. So looking forward to that. Yeah. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.